Hello everyone, myself Assistant Professor Vatsal Patel from Civil Engineering Department working at Mahatma Gandhi Institute of Technical Education and Research Center Navsari. Today we are going to discuss about dynamics of communication. So first of all, let us see what is communication. So if we find root of it, the term communication comes from the Latin word communicare. So the term communicare means to share. So if we talk about its definition, communication is the process of passing information, idea and knowledge between a sender and a receiver through an accepted code of symbols. So if we talk about it, communication skills are becoming a learned behavior in this post-modern era due to the high level of competition and professionalism. Communication is the vital need from the cradle age, say as the baby start crying to express basic needs, to the deathbed, say as the dying person express his last wish. It is fact that only those who have acquired effective communication skills will lead the world. Human beings cannot live in society without communication. In order to interact, we need to communicate. Human beings included in several interactions like informal conversation, debates, phone calls, teleconferencing, gossiping, chatting, net surfing, and so on. Even any organization cannot survive without communication. The better are our communication or say interpersonal skills, the greater are our chances of progress. Whatever skill we have in other areas of work, without communication skills are of little use. Around us, we observe that successful people have excellent communication skills. Hence, understanding what is communication and mastering the art of effective communication has become extremely significant. So, let us see process of communication. So, it includes for sharing information, two parties are required, the sender and the receiver. They should have a mutually accepted code of signals making up a common language. Communication is effective only when the receiver receives the message intended by the sender in the same perspective. So let us see communication cycle for it. So here you can see communication cycle or say communication process which reveals some of striking features of communication like the process of communication is internally related among several interdependent components. It includes either series of correlated actions and relation which collectively result in the sharing of meaning. Noise or barriers of communication may arise at any stage. Feedback is a fundamental aspect of communication. So to identify how communication works, let us see every components. So in first step, the sender forms the content of the message to be sent. The sender encodes the message and sends it through a channel. This channel is nothing but the language used like words, action, sign, objects or combination of this. So the process of communication initiates when the sender feels the need for it and the idea created in his mind. Sender is at the center of the communication process. Sender is the one who has an idea, awareness, thoughts, feelings that are in abstract form. The sender might be a speaker, a writer, or an actor. A sender must have a clear picture in his mind of what he needs to convey. The sender must categorize, scrutinize, and rationally organize the ideas before conveying them to the receiver. The sender must have a concrete idea. Next, the receiver receives the message, decodes it, and acts on it. If the message received is the same as the message sent, there will be a response. If not, there has been a breakdown of communication. This may happen because of noise. So, the sender encodes the message before communicating it, as the message is primary in the abstract form. Encoding the message means to convert the ideas or facts into words, symbols, pictures, or gesture in orderly form which the other person can understand. It also includes the choice of appropriate media so that the idea is transformed into a message that can be transmitted to the others. Next, what is essential for it? So, a well-defined communication environment, cooperation between the sender and the receiver, selection of an appropriate channel, correct encoding and decoding of the message, and the last one is the feedback. So, let us talk about communication. So, mainly there are two types of communication: verbal communication and non-verbal communication. So, if we talk about verbal communication is such type of communication in which the sender and the receiver exchange their ideas with the help of words, sound, and speeches. Communication process involves the use of a common set of symbols between the sender and the receiver. In verbal communication, it becomes necessary that both the sender and the receiver must have knowledge of the language in which they are exchanging their ideas. Verbal communication can be of two types: oral and written. So, if we talk about oral communication, if we communicate through spoken words, it is oral communication. It includes meeting, conversation, conference, interviews, telephonic talk, speech, public speaking, etc. And if we talk about written communication, if we communicate through written words, it is written communication. It includes letters, telegrams, reports, notice, memos, circulars, minutes, etc. Now let us talk about non-verbal communication. Anything communicated without the use of verbal communication is called non-verbal communication. People communicate in many ways other than using words. A message is transmitted from the sender to the receiver through sign and symbol is called non-verbal communication. It is a wordless message. Often words fail to convey the exact meaning. However, a person has to be very careful to interpret the message communicated through non-verbal communication. Studies have observed that non-verbal communication has a stake of 65% in the meaning of any communication, whereas verbal communication imparts 35% of the total meaning. So, generally, we use non-verbal communication to reinforce verbal communication, but sometimes non-verbal communication works by itself. So, what is non-verbal communication? Non-verbal communication refers to all communication that occurs without the use of words, spoken or written. Non-verbal communication is concerned with body language like kinesics, space, proxemics, and vocal paralinguistics features. It includes all unwritten and unspoken messages, both the intentional and unintentional. So, let us see elements of non-verbal communication. So, mainly there are three elements which are kinesics, say body language, proxemics, say space, and paralinguistics means vocal. So, first of all, let us see kinesics. Kinesics is the name given to the study of the body's physical movements. It includes personal appearance, posture, gesture, facial expression, eye contact. So, kinesics is related to the movement of any part of the body. In other words, it is termed as body language. Body language is a very essential factor in non-verbal communication. The study of body motion as related to speech is called kinesics. Kinesics is the term in which the body communicates without word. So, let us see personal appearance for it. So, people see before they hear. Appearance include clothes, hair, jewelry, cosmetics, and so on. Clothes also highlighted the body's movement, and the choice of clothes reveals a lot about the wearer's personality and attitude. So here you can see some important points in the image. So if we talk about personal appearance, what we wear convey a lot about us. Personal appearance plays a pivotal role in non-verbal communication. We can get an idea about a person from his physical appearance. It involves clothes, hair, jewelry, cosmetic, and accessories like briefcase, tie, footwear, and so on. For example, a boy wearing an earring, heavy chains, and torn jeans will create a bad impression among people. This is because his appearance communicates to the people and tell everything about the people. So, the appearance of a person depends on several things. People give their attention to those communicators who are neat in their appearance. Our personal appearance decides the success and failure of communication. Personal appearance communicates our mood, attitude, and personality long before the actual communication starts. People associate dress and appearance to the attitude and behavior of the communicator. It is said that costume is character. So, next one is posture. Posture generally refers to the way we hold ourselves when we stand, sit, or walk. One's posture changes accordingly to the situation. So here you can see the various posture in the image. So see all the details. So if we talk about it, if nervous, one would normally be seen pacing, bobbing the shoulders, fidgeting with notes, jingling coins, moving constantly, or staying glued to the ground. So the posture in the way in which we hold our body, it can be described as the way we hold ourselves. The way we stand or sit indicates something about our attitude, thoughts, emotions, or health. Standing or sitting erect, leaning backward or forward, bending or stretching sideways, everything conveys some meaning to the viewers about us. We can build a positive or negative impression of ourselves in others' mind through the body posture. Therefore, we should ensure that our body is not sending wrong signal in interviews, meetings, and informal interactions. It needs continuous practice to ensure that our body talks positive. Posture thus indicate our level of involvement and interest. It must be remembered that graceful posture is a great asset in every profession. Next, we will talk about gesture. Gesture is the movement made by hand, head, or face. A well-timed gesture not only drives a point home but also enhances the value of what is being said. So, similarly, an awkward gesture like playing with a keychain or button can matter the effectiveness of the message. Skillful and appropriate gesture can add the impact in verbal communication. So, if we talk about it, gesture includes the movement of heads, arms, shoulder, legs, head, and fingers. While speaking, each one of us makes movements along with the speech unconsciously. A skillful gesture can increase the impact of our speech, our gesture, disclose our idea. At the time of communication, we must have spontaneous as well as natural gesture. A person should avoid irritating gesture. For example, playing with a ring, clasping the hand tightly, lusting keychain. In our daily life, we use gesture like sometimes to point out something or to illustrate something. The use of gesture is called gesticulation. If a person does not make a movement, he will appear to be a mechanical, stiff, and almost robot-like. So, if we shuffle the legs, it indicates nervousness. Similarly, pounding of fist on a table shows anger. So next one is facial expression. The face is the most expressive part of our body. A smile stands for friendliness, a frown for discontent, raised eyebrows for disbelief, tightened jaw muscle for antagonism, etc. So, a face speaks thousand words. Facial expression allows a person to speak lesser words. Face is the mirror of the mind. Whatever a person feels, it will be reflected on his face. Human face is the most obvious communicative factor. Face is the most expressive part of human body. Each and every muscle of face helps as a tool of communication. For example, lines of foreheads, raised eyebrows, movements of eyelid, smile, muscle of cheeks, lips, etc. All these facial expressions speaks louder than the words. It requires continuous practice to control the feeling and adopt a positive attitude in every situation. Facial expression is the tool which is common to all cultures. Even if we meet a person of a different country for the first time, we can identify some feelings or attitude of that person from his face. Like there are 6 basic facial expression which are happiness, sadness, surprise, fear, anger, disgust, etc. So you can see it in the image. So a look of surprise, a worried expression, a happy or pleased smile, a distress or an angry frown, and several other facial expressions can convey with or without words the attitude and reaction of the speaker. Reaction of listener, whatever the listener is interested or not, can also be judged through the listener's facial expression by the speaker. Thus, an alert speaker can get constant feedback from his audience. And last one is eye contact. Eyes are considered to be the windows of the soul. Eye contact is a direct and powerful form of non-verbal communication. Looking directly at listener builds rapport. Eye contact is a rich source of feedback. For example, prolonging the eye contact for 3 to 5 seconds without giving impression of staring tells the audience that the presenter is sincere in what he says and he wants us to pay attention. So if we talk about eye contact, eyes demonstrate the reflection of ideas running in one's mind. Eyes are the most shrewd and transparent sense organ. It is a very important non-verbal factor as it is important to maintain eye contact during communication. Eye contact helps the speaker to concentrate. It demonstrates the confidence and authenticity in your speech. It also helps to grab and hold the attention of the listener or audience. Listener attention may wander if you don't look at them. Maintaining eye contact may also help modifying your speech by the need of the listener, as if the listener is not getting the idea, his eye may reflect confusion, and that may give the speaker idea to modify his speech accordingly. So, sustained eye contact makes you feel more confident and helps you create rapport with your audience. In communication, it is required to maintain eye contact, but it must not exceed than 3 to 5 seconds. If it exceeds than 5 seconds, the receiver will feel uncomfortable. If a person gives full eye contact for a long time together with an angry expression, the listener might get feared. A person who has less confidence often avoids eye contact. Generally, a liar does not make eye contact and used to blink their eyes more. At the time of presentation, presenter should maintain eye contact with as many audiences as possible. So here I end my session. Remaining topics we will cover in next lectures. So till then, see these videos and you have to write answer in descriptive manner in exam. So here is just a brief. Okay, so till then, goodbye. Thank you all of you.